Hey folks, welcome back to another video of the Flutter Development course brought to you by Newton School. For those of you who are wondering who I am, so my name is Harsh Kumar Khatri and I'll be your instructor for this Flutter Development course. I am currently working as an intern at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and I have been an ex-Flutter developer intern at AppScript, where my primary goal was to develop Flutter application totally from scratch depending upon the needs. I am also an instructor on Udemy and Edunix, where my Flutter development courses have more than 10,000 plus enrollments. Now you must be wondering what Newton School is. So basically Newton School is a platform which helps you to learn and develop your skills that you will be needing for your best tech career. There are courses specifically designed for freshers, working professionals, and women in tech with no prior experience. Newton School first trains you for 6 months and helps you develop a full stack developer. It also has a network of more than 300 great companies who hire directly from Newton School. So once the training is complete, Newton School also ensures that you are placed with one of the best companies in the country. They are also having a pay after placement program where you don't have to pay anything to Newton School until you are placed with a minimum CTC of rupees 5 lakhs per annum. They also have an awesome initiative known as Launchpad, where they are providing you with some of the courses free of cost along with an editor on the web only, and you can practice those courses and work on these courses through that editor, and after the completion of those courses you will be provided with the certificate of completion as well. So make sure to check out Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description for more info. Now coming to the today's topics for the video. So in this video I'll be covering about the basic dice app. We'll be making a basic dice app which will be showing us a random number between 1 to 6 including 1 and 6 on click of a button. And then once we have completed this basic dice app, we'll be improving the dice app by adding some images to it so that it looks much beautiful as compared to the basic one. So let's get started with this. Let me switch the screens. So here you can see that I have opened my app which I have created in the previous video. So this was the app which we were working on the previous video, the I am poor app. So now let me remove the code which we don't need, removing this body part, and for the text for this app bar I am changing it to be dice app or dicer. Now starting with the body part. So for the body part what we need is, first I'll be adding a center so that each of the things which I am adding as a child to this center will be appearing in the center screen or in the center part of the screen. Next I'll be adding a container which will be having a child as text, and this child will be displaying the number which will be generated or the thing which will be generated. For this we need to initialize a variable and add a function through which we will be changing the value of this variable. So I am initializing a variable as integer rand int equals to 1 for now, or we can keep it as blank. Well, let me keep it as blank only. So here you can see that Flutter has released our latest update which does not allow us to keep the variables uninitialized or unassigned a value to them. So I'll be adding a late keyword before it so that it will be initialized whenever we are calling this variable inside some function or some part to display it. Next we need to create a function which will be updating the value of this randint variable. So void randomizer. Inside it we'll be assigning the value of or we'll be updating the value of this randint integer which we have initialized above. So randint equals to random. So there is this random function in Flutter, so we need to import this first from Dart Math. So here you can see that this Dart Math is added over here. Now from this random we can initialize all these things which it has. So here you can see that we can create various different things from this random in various different categories or different ranges. So we can create an integer, random integer, random boolean, random double, or convert the things to string. So for now I'll be creating a random integer, and inside it we need to pass the value, like the maximum value to which we want the value to be created or the random integer to be generated. So I'll be passing 6 over here, and it will be providing us a value between 0 to 5 including 0 and 5, but we want the values between 1 to 6. So what I'll be doing is I'll be adding 1 over here. So I have added a 1 over here so that it will be providing us the value between 0 to 5, and adding 1, the values will be converting to 1 to 6, including 1 and 6. Once the value of this randint variable is updated, we need to run set state over here, which will be updating the state, and we can and the value of the randint variable will be updated dynamically wherever it is present inside the app. Now adding the value of this randint inside this text variable. So the random variable generated is $randint. So what this dollar does is it allows us to add the value of this integer inside the text only, inside the quotes or the strings, whatever you call them. So we can directly add the value of the integer inside this. Fixing this typo over here. Now adding some styles to this text so that it appears like in a good way. So style will be set to text style. The color will be black only. Font size will be 24, I guess it will be fine. And font weight will be font weight.w600. Saving it. So it is saying that randint has not been initialized. So let me remove this late keyword from here and assign a value to it. The first value assigned will be 1. And here you can see that it is showing us the random variable generated is 1. Let me add some padding to this container. And adding the text align to this text as well. It comes here. Now it looks much better. Now adding a floating action button which will be triggering the function which we have created over here, this randomizer function. So floating action button, it will be taking a floating action button only, and inside it on pressed, which will be triggering this randomizer function. And the child for this floating action button will be having an icon, icons dot. Let's see if there is a random icon present. No, it is not. So let me add the add icon only, and adding a comma over here so that this error also goes away. So you can see that the floating action button is also appearing, and the random variable generated is 1 over here. So let me click this one. Whenever I'll be clicking this floating action button, a new value of this randomizer will be generated, and it will be updated in the text which is present over here. So you can see that as soon as I'm clicking the this floating action button, a new value of this dice is generated, and it is being updated over here. Let me also print the value as soon as this floating action button is clicked. So before setting the state, let's print this value as well. So here in the debug console, now you can see also what value is being generated, and if it is updating the value correctly or not. So here you can see that the values are updating correctly. Now let us move towards the second part of the video where where we'll be updating this app, and we'll be adding the images to it so that it appears in a good way and in a better way. So let me switch the screens again. So here you can see that I have opened a repository for a project which I have created named as Dice Roller app with images and sound. So it is available on my GitHub. If you want to check it out, you can go on my GitHub and find this project over there. Now inside this project, I have a directory with the name of images, and inside this I have 6 different images for 6 different faces of sites. So I'll be downloading each of these images over here by opening it in a new tab. Let me do this quickly and I'll get back. So I have downloaded all these images, and I'll be creating a new folder inside my project with the name of assets. Moving this folder in the directory of the So here you can see that the assets folder has been moved to the directory of this project. Now I'll be moving the images which I have downloaded to this assets directory. So let me just move them quickly. So here you can see that I have added all of these images inside this asset directory. So let me show you the images. 5, 4, 1, 6, 3 and 2. So I have added all of these images over here. Now the next thing which we need to do is we need to enable this assets directory. So for that you need to go into the pubspec.yaml file, and inside this there must be a code which must be commented for you. The assets dash images slash a dot something dot jpg, like it is showing over here. You have to just uncomment the first two lines, and in place of the images slash a dot something, you have to add an assets directory with a slash over here. So the reason why I am adding a slash over here is because it will be making all of the files which are present under the assets directory accessible to the project, and we can use all of these images inside our project. So that's why we need to keep it as a slash and then blank. Now the assets will be enabled for the project. So let's hit back to the main.dart file again, and inside it we need to generate the what we can say the variables for the assets file. So let's do that quickly. So what I'll be doing is it will be having a type of asset image, and the name will be 1, and it will be having the data of asset image only, and inside it we need to pass the name or the what we can say the directory or the location of the file, 1.png file. So copying the relative path and pasting it inside here, turning it to backslash. It need to go under these. So similarly I'll be copying it and pasting 5 more times. Now replacing this with 2. So here you can see that I have changed the value of each of these images, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and similarly I have assigned the value of the location of the files of the images which are present inside the assets directory. So now let's move towards the next part. So what the next part will be is that we need to add an image inside our body so that that image is displayed to the user as well. So let me remove this center from here, and we'll be adding the image totally from scratch over here. So removing this center and adding a container in place of it. This container will be having a child as column, and this column will be having multiple children inside it. The first one being an image, and this takes an image, and this image will be of type the variable image which we'll be like creating a variable for. So the next thing which I'll be doing over here is I'll be creating another variable with the type asset image, and the name of it will be image to be displayed. It will be of a kind late variable, which means that it will be initialized later as soon as the app is running. So whenever we are calling this image to be displayed variable, it will be created then, and adding an init state so that the value to this image to be displayed variable is assigned as soon as we are opening or we are running the app. So init state, and inside it I'll be adding a set state to update the value of this image to be displayed variable dynamically. So image to be displayed will be equal to the one image which we have added over above, and adding a semicolon. Now you can see that this image is still blank, so adding image to be displayed over here again, saving it so that the changes could take place in the app. So the emulator has been stuck. Let me restart the app quickly. So I have restarted the app over here, and you can see that the image is being displayed as expected. So let me add a center quickly, or inside this column only we can add the main axis alignment and cross axis alignment to be center. Adding a width to this container. So here you can see that the image is being displayed in the center. Let me add another widget over here, which will be the text which will be displaying the number of the image which is being displayed. So the text is also being displayed. Now what we have to do is we have to update this randomizer function on the basis of the click made. So let's do that quickly. So I'll add a switch case statement over here. We'll be switching the value on the basis of this randint variable which we have above. So randint, whenever the value or the case will be equals to 1, then what we'll be doing is we'll be setting the value of the image to be displayed equals to 1, and then we'll be breaking the condition. Similarly, I'll be copying this case and we'll be pasting it multiple times, adding it for 2. So I have added it for each of these. Now I'll also be adding it for the default case. So in default case, if the value is exceeding, although it won't be exceeding, so we can also skip this. So let me skip this rather than adding a value for it. And at last the set state should also remain, so that the value of this image to be displayed and the randint variable is updated on the go. Now let me go back to the app, and here you can see that currently one number is being displayed as the app has loaded, and the value of this randint has been assigned to 1, and the image to be displayed has also been assigned to 1. So now when I'll be clicking this floating action button, the value of this randint variable will be updated, which you can see here in the text which we have added beneath this image inside the column. So you can see that the value of this randint variable has also changed, and the image corresponding to that value has also appeared above this. So when I'll be clicking again, you can see that when 6 has been appeared as the random variable, the image is displaying 6, and so on. As I'll be keep on clicking this floating action button, the value will be updating again and again. So this was how we have like updated and added images to our dice app and created a dice app totally from scratch. You can now also like improve this dice app by adding different stylings or by changing the UI part of this dice app. You can also add audio to this dice app. So the GitHub repository which I have shown you, let me pull it off again. So the GitHub repository which I have shown you, which is present over here, you can check this GitHub repository out, and inside it I have also added the images, like 2 different images of the dice. The dice will be displaying a total of 12 if 6 is appearing on both the dice. Along with that, the dice will also be providing you with some sounds when you will be clicking on the button. So I have added all of these things from related to that over here in this repository, so you can check this out repository as well. One more thing, that this is, you can consider this as your task for this video. So you have to work on creating a similar project related to this one, the dice app images, the dice roller app with images and sounds. So try to create or replicate this project by adding voices, sounds, and 2 dice images inside your project. If you are creating this project, then make sure to share it on social media, and don't forget to tag me and Newton School, so that we can also see what you are creating and what all awesome things you have worked on. So yeah, this was for this video. And if you have got to learn something new from this video, then make sure to drop a like. Also subscribe to the channel to get updated with the latest videos which will be posting related to the course, this Flutter development course on this channel. Share this video and the playlist for this video with your friends who want to learn Flutter, or in the communities where people are talking about Flutter. Also, don't forget to check out Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description. So they are providing you with the best services. So make sure to check them out as well, and stay tuned for the next video where I'll be teaching you about the UI part and how you can find and create different beautiful UIs for your Flutter project. So stay tuned for the same as well, and thank you for watching this video.